And welcome on back, everyone, to episode 145 of Streaming with the Mouse. Today, we're going to be talking about the Percy Jackson news update show, basically. So, we're going to be going over everything related to Percy Jackson as it is now finished filming. Still not getting it till early 2024. Very sad. But get ready, and you're listening to Streaming with the Mouse. And welcome on back, everyone, to episode 145 of Streaming with the Mouse. My name is Clifton Paul Robinson, and joining me as always is my co-host, my co-pilot. I think we can use that for it. The Grover to my Percy. That's a good one, I think.
No.
Yep. Too late. We carry on. Megan, how are you doing today?
I was better before that comment.
Good.
No, I'm good.
What's wrong with Grover? Grover's great.
Nothing's wrong with Grover, but I'm Percy in your Grover.
Too late. I said it. But we're going to be talking about all things related to the Percy Jackson TV show. There's a lot of news. I think we've really held off on talking about this because it was like Rick was really good at breadcrumbing it, but now that it's done filming, there's not a lot he can. Oh, there's a lot he can add still, to be honest. But I digress. So we're going to be talking about the concept of the show, actors, people that are affiliated with it, so on and so forth. Most shockingly of all, one of the executive producers and one of the lead writers is Rick Riordan, the creator of Percy Jackson, which I think, and we're just jumping right into this, where Rick being so heavily involved, and we know it's like down to a science, gives me a lot of hope personally, because he's really going to be in it. Like, he's really focused on making this the best possible thing it can be. You can talk about Rick for it if you want, but it's very nice seeing what he is going to be for being involved in this.
I will not acknowledge the movies after this statement. However, if you want a laugh, go find the letters that Rick wrote the studio who did the
Hilarious.
movie, because they are great, because that man held nothing back. He is my hero in many aspects, but like, I'm very excited he is very involved in this project because it's going to influence and impact not only this season, but like the rest of the series, and if we get Hero of Olympus and Trial of Apollo later on.
Yes, we have to make it that far, but we shall see. I think the only thing I will give the movies one good credit. They did the Lotus Casino very well.
I was about to say, Lady Gaga poker face, that was perfect.
They did the Lotus Casino very well, and the issue to me that I had with the whole thing is I thought that the three of them were a great choice if they were 5 years younger. It was the right actors at the wrong time. Just a lot of things that were wrong with it, but. Again, I digress, but we're going to jump into it. Do you want to talk about the actors first, or the build of the show?
Let's talk about the actors first.
All right, the build. We'll do the main actors, the show, and then the remainder of it. We'll do it. So we'll talk about the big three for the actors. So Percy Jackson will be played by Walker Scobell, who. Very famous, kind of not famous, but very well established in his young acting career. He is only crap. I should have known the age right off the bat. He was born in 2002. No, born 2009. Holy crap. He is 13.
Now, bro.
I'm doing. What year is it? He is 14 years old. And his acting stuff is pretty impressive. He only has 2 acting credits before Percy Jackson. The Adam Project, where he plays a young version of Ryan Reynolds, and then Secret Headquarters, where he is basically the son of knockoff Iron Man, played by Owen Wilson. So pretty solid group that he's working with right off the bat. And he has been thrust into the spotlight as the next, technically we'll say the first Percy Jackson. Sorry, Logan. But this kid, everything I've seen about him, he is Percy. He's not acting. He's a great time to say something to Megan while she's taking a drink. But this kid, like his TikToks, his everything, it's like he just has that kind of like psycho Percy energy, which is really fun to watch, in all honesty.
Yeah, I agree. I'm very excited to see what he brings to it. I will say, I'm sorry, I'm just figuring out if I want to spoil things from the book.
It has been like 20 years. The book
But no,
is
it's not from that. It's from Heroes of Olympus and Trials of Apollo.
just
That's where I'm
who
like,
cares? Read the books. I don't care at this point.
yes, read the books. If not, skip 30 seconds ahead. I think it's just funny that like Nico at the last Heroes of Olympus book is like, "You're not my type" to Percy, and Percy's like, "What?" And then like the person he ends up with is exactly who Walker is. Like it's described as how Walker looks, and it's just funny to me how they're gonna play that because I think they should not change
No, I think they should change it, and they should make who's Nico's boyfriend?
Will. Will.
Will. They should make Will look like Percy.
That's
I think that'd be hilarious. It actually would work because oh, never mind, that's Hermes. Never mind. Next up, Annabeth Chase. Leah Jeffries will be playing Annabeth Chase. Again, a few small things. She was in Beast with Idris Elba, and that's really a lot for a lot of these people. It's the extent. This is a lot of people's first kind of go at larger film. She was in other stuff. She was in Rel. I don't know what Rel is, but it was a TV show. She was in it for 11 episodes, and she was in Empire for 6, which I know Empire is a very big show. Again, they really seem to have cast kids that really fit their roles. And again, same thing. She kind of has that sass. She has that fun thing, that fun like spunk. Is that a good way to explain like first couple book Annabeths? Like really, really going for it. And I've really enjoyed seeing like how they all interact together, just from like behind the scene videos because it works. It seems to just work well with all of them together.
Yeah, I agree. I'm really excited. I'm really excited.
You're really excited. No other comments on Annabeth?
I think she's perfect for the role, and I really am excited to see it. Right, we have this issue. Cliff and I talked about this last time that like most times I'm like, what am I most excited for? I just go, I'm excited, but like I have nothing else to say, especially for this series. Like I think both of us grew up on these books, and they're very important. As I talked about in the last podcast episode, the series is very dear to my heart and very important to me. And everything I've seen thus far is really exciting because I think it's on a good track. Like I'm excited they're gonna change some things from the book, and I'm glad they have in casting choices as well. And I'm really excited to see how it is because I think she is the perfect Annabeth, in all honesty. And if you disagree, as Rick said, don't watch the show.
Also, if you're disagreeing or disagreeing, it's like the source, literally us, the Toronto Blue Jays. It's like who says that she's the? You've never seen that where people like the Blue Jays have tweeted like we've acquired so and so, and people are like source, and it's like literally us, the team that
Oh
just.
yes,
And it's like Rick being like Annabeth or Leah is the perfect Annabeth. People are like who says it? And he's like me. The writer of the books,
later.
like yeah, no crap. And finally, I'd probably the most settled actor, young actor out of all of them. Aryan Simhardri is going to be Grover Underwood, and he has 23 actor credits on IMDb. He did commercials, and then he made his way onto a couple episodes of like Disney Channel stuff, and then he's been cast as Grover Underwood. Again, like I said, like this has been a fun process to kind of watch them and seeing like Rick post the picture, like the most recent picture with him between the actors for Poseidon and Zeus, like we're already seeing more specifically Walker grow up, which is very weird. It's a very weird thing to see, like, oh, we're getting back into like the Stranger Things era where these kids are going to be under a microscope. So don't bully kids. I'm going to put that right out there. Megan's ready. Megan's on site. Don't bully kids. That's my first, not word of advice, but just don't. So going forward, though, Percy Jackson is going to be an 8-episode arc, so it's getting a little bit better. Disney Plus is getting a little bit better on what they're actually letting people choose to do for their episodes. As we've all heard my many a rant on Marvel, nothing can be a single, like, nothing's a cookie cutter. You can't just put something in and it's going to work for every single one of them. It doesn't work that way. So we know that, I believe the pilot's been done. They finished the pilot because that's how you finish the pilot, and that basically decides if you're moving forward with the show. We know that for like Game of Thrones, they recorded a pilot with different actors. Like Daenerys was a different actor, all these things, and they literally said no, go back to the drawing board. Um, so it's past the pilot stage. Rick said he saw seen things without like the edits, and he's loved what he's seen so far. So 8 episodes. You think that's enough? I know you wanted it to be a episode, a chapter. I just don't think that works with some of the
No, and
chapters. But
yeah, and I think, like, reflecting on that, right, I think it makes more sense. I'm surprised, though, that we skipped to this and not talking about the casting of the gods.
I'm gonna do that after. This
Okay,
is our
okay.
this is our interlude. Um, but yes, other than that, we do have. I just was talking about the structure of the show. Um, the other things I want to talk about for the gods are who the showrunners are. So obviously Rick is one. I believe Becky is as well. So for people who know, Becky is Rick's wife. Um, for them, if you want Percy Jackson news, it only comes from the source of Rick and Becky. So Rick is at Rick Riordan. He does not run his page. It is not his. Um, well, it
It
is
is
his, but he does not tweet anymore because he's too busy and people are assholes and bullied him off the site. Becky is the at Camp Half Blood, which, and I remember saying it on Twitter, where I remember when she's like, "Yeah, I'm saving this handle for the show," and then she just kept the handle, and they have like Percy Jackson TV is the Twitter handle for the show now, which I think is hilarious. Where she was like, "Oh, I saved the handle," and then she's like, "No, I'm keeping the handle," which is hilarious to me. The other creator of you're giving me like a death glare right now.
Sorry, I
Um,
completely zoned out.
so the other showrunner and like the Hollywood showrunner is Jonathan Steinberg. Pretty successful career so far. He's best known for Black Sails. Did you ever watch that? Black Sails was the I believe Showtime pirate show, which was pretty popular at the time, where it kind of focused on like real life pirates at the time, but I think it was fictional in other sense. So I believe Blackbeard and stuff was in that for it. I never really watched it, but that was his big thing. Other than that, he was the creator of Jericho, Human Target, and then recently he was the Old Man and C, which is the Apple TV show. He wrote C, which is the or 3 episodes of that. So definitely in good hands for people that have it. There was also some good writing credits from other ones. I'm not going to go into directors, but let's go into the rest of the cast. So let's start. You want to go gods first or the rest of Camp Half Blood?
Mm,
Let's do Camp Half Blood.
yeah,
So
and, like,
leading,
save the things for later, yeah.
yes. So leading the charge is everyone's favorite. Um, I'm seeing if I can pull up anything else before I go into them. Everyone's favorite camp director, um, Kyron, who will be played by Glenn Turman.
What did you
He
just say?
Kyron?
Isn't it Chiron?
I don't know.
I don't think it's not En. I only recently learned I pronounced all the
You
names
also
wrong.
said it Chiron, so
No, I said Sharon.
sure.
Check yourself.
That's slightly worse.
I'm
That's
dyslexic
that's
and look that way, alright?
slightly worse.
What I'm saying.
My issue is I would Google. My issue is I just Google everything. I'll have to look. I will say I'm going to stick with Kyron for right now. But played by Glenn Turman. Other things he is known for, he was in Ma Rainey's Black Bottom. He was in Gremlins back in 1984, Super 8. Honestly, he just looks. I don't know. I just look at him and it's like this is Kyron. This is him. And that's I think what's nice about a lot of these castings. You just look and you're like, yeah. There are some castings where I'm like, no. We'll talk about those ones also, but I'm still excited for them. I don't know. He just seems like someone I'm excited to watch
I'm
be
excited.
him. I know you are. I have to have an I'm excited or I agree count for you going forward. But he's a very well established actor in Hollywood, and it's nice to see him get this really like leading slash like secondary role in something that's really going to stick. Like I said, I always say I think Percy Jackson has the potential to be a Harry Potter, where it's going to stick with someone forever. And it's really you're gonna kind of like paint your picture. Like yes, the books go very far with it, but when you put it on film, when you put it on TV, it really shows it in a different way. So we have our camp, or he's our camp director, but then we go for the head of the camp, Dionysus. How do you say Dionysus? I do want to know that. How did you read
Uh,
Dionysus before?
Before I realized I said everything wrong, I think I said Dionysus.
That's not as bad.
That, yeah.
This one to me is the most second most odd casting in a great way.
Okay. I
Second
think
most, you cannot think of who the most odd casting is in this whole show. It's
no, I think I know. I
yeah,
think I
we'll
know
we'll
who
talk about
it is.
it in a few, but Jason uh, Mantzoukas, who is best known for playing literally any crazy ass character in any of the things created by the creator, like whoever created Brooklyn Nine Nine. I can't think of his name right now, but what a great casting overall. It took me a minute to be like, okay, I see it. Yeah, I
No,
get it.
I saw
Um,
it immediately and I was like, "Yes, that
funny,
is."
and the funniest part is he's I think the only Greek actor that's been
Yeah!
cast. So it works really well. I think his energy for Chiron or not Chiron, Dionysus is going to work really well. I think I'm just so used to seeing Dionysus in my head as this like short, plump character. Um, but it's going to work in a
See,
really
okay.
funny way, and I see him doing the shtick of
Yeah.
Dionysus really well, and that's where I'm like, oh, I see it.
Jasmine, that's
I see it. He's
um,
also from Massachusetts. Fun fact.
oh, okay.
Um,
I think, for me, I think this is where, uh, my many, mental breakdowns of not being able to see things in my head, uh, like, you know,
helps. It like helps fix it.
it helps because like, I like, yes, I know how he is described, but in my head, he's more of an like, the character's more of an essence than like a like, I'm, like, not, like, married to
Well,
how any of them look. Um,
I think, and this is the thing that I don't think people can separate. And I don't know if this is a rant or not. You got your rant last week. book, book characters, show characters. They are the same, but they are also different. Yes, Percy, Annabeth, Grover look different in the show, but their essence of the character doesn't change. So the way that the show looks, in the show, those are the three. However, Rick describes them in the book is the three that you can read in the book, but you can also change it. It doesn't matter. Like they would get along because they're in the essence the same character. How someone looks doesn't define the character, it's how it's portrayed.
yeah.
So like when I read the books, I picture how Rick describes them in the books. When I watch the show, you're different. You don't see the apple.
Okay.
Have to bring that up. Uh, but when I watch the show, it's something that I'm not gonna be like, oh my god, where's the black hair? Who cares? I care about capturing the essence of a character. That to me is the important thing. Um, but we do have our big bad as well for the whole show, for the whole series. Um, and Charlie Bushnell will be playing Luke Castellan. To me, he looks great for this role. I don't know, like it really just worked because they aged him up slightly, or he's actually only 3 years older than the big three. So
Yeah.
they've aged him down. Sorry, to make it less creepy.
Yeah,
It's
that's
still
why I
creepy.
appreciate
It's still
that.
creepy. I won't spoil that. We can get to that when we get there. He again, not really anything. He was just a main character in Diary of a Future President, which was also a Disney Plus show. Luke was one of the closed open calls.
Uh,
Let's be 100% honest. No one that like how anyone could apply. No one free of the open calls got got it. Because all three of the big three got are like established people. But I'm excited for him. I think he works really well. It was very funny because he accidentally spoiled that he was in it before Rick announced it, which was hilarious. And the last camper that we know is Dior Goodjohn will be playing Khalees LaRue. Seems
hold
did I
on.
did I butcher it?
What did you say?
Dior
No, I'm sorry, the character's name.
Clarice LaRue.
Not what you said.
I said Clarice. I'll have to listen back to it.
No, you said Khalees. Look
Oh,
for
I just caught my L then. To me, it sounded the same. And so she is playing Clarice, and this one is great. This one to me is hilarious because she's one of the more active social media people. She has been already threatened. She is our Tom Holland. She
Yeah.
is the spoiler, and you can tell she has not been on social media really. talking about stuff for a while. She has been in other things. She was in Glee for an episode. She played Little Santana. She was in an episode of Raven's Home. Um, and then she was head of the class and Are You Afraid of the Dark? So again, her first big thing. She gets more of a bigger role in after the second books of second season. That is it for the Camp Half Blood. Anything you want to add? I think we're gonna get Charlie and Selena in season one too, though. I do
I
think.
think I just think
Um,
that I think those are not character. You know what I think? I think the rest of Camp Half Blood that aren't like quote unquote big characters have been announced are going to be people who are auditioned in that open call.
that'd be good. That would be a good one. So we're gonna get into. Let's talk about Percy's family and his life before um, Camp Half Blood and the Gods. So just quickly, Virginia Cole is Sally Jackson. I think she looks great. I mean, they're definitely aging down the choices for this. They're making it more normal. Like she's like mid 30s, has a teen son. Well, I don't know what they're gonna make her in.
I was going to
Um,
say, hold on, because like you said, age down, they're aging her up. You mean
how old was she in the books? Was she in her 30s in the books?
Sally had Percy at 19.
Oh, then it works. Then it
It's,
works.
I mean,
So
she's still like a little bit older, but
yeah.
yes.
So Virginia again, pretty well established throughout Hollywood. Big things recently have been Big Little Lies. She was in 60 episodes as Emily Barnes. Other than that, what other things can I get from this? I'm just going down the list. Tim Sharp is Gabe Bugliano. He's been in just a few small things here and there. We have, I lost my place. Megan, this is my favorite casting at all of them. Megan Mullally is Electo, which is Ron Swanson's wife. She's also very famous outside of that. I just only ever picture
Yeah,
her as
I don't
Tammy.
like the way
I just
explaining.
only picture her as Tammy because
She
it's
was
so good. She is so good at being Tammy, and I know she's in one of the most important shows of the 2000s in Will and Grace. I just picture Tammy, and she's so good at it, and I mean it fully as a compliment because Tammy makes Parks and Rec so much better. Um, and finally, from it, we have Olivia Morton as Nancy Boba Fett, which only going to be in the pilot, but she still hangs out with all the characters from all the Percy Jackson news sources that they show. And finally, the gods. So, should I
But we
do?
talked
You
about
want
one
this?
god already.
The non Camp Half Blood gods. So we'll start off big with Lance Reddick, who is playing the all powerful Zeus. I think this is a great casting. I don't really know him from a ton of stuff. I know he's been in like John Wick, mainly. He's in White House Down. The thing that I really appreciate about Lance being cast as Zeus is the implication for other characters, for how other characters in the show at least can look. Which is just gonna be very fun. I think he has a very powerful voice. I think is just such a nice, like a good way to put it. And I think he's gonna have a good Zeus feel to him. Do you know him
Yeah.
from anything or not really?
No.
Just I don't
I
watch John
I
Wick.
think
Um,
I just think he has the I mean the photos we've seen, I think he just has the energy.
he really does. Um, Next one. This one caught me the most by not the most. That's the wrong way to put this. One of the more shocking castings was Timothy Osmondson as Hephaestus, and
Which
mainly
is
because it's just like I thought Hephaestus was supposed to be ugly,
so okay.
but they can make him. I know Hollywood magic. Hollywood
No,
magic.
not even that. I think like also we have to remember that like the gods can change how they I feel like that's something we forget. The gods can change how they look and like have in media and like the like mythology. So
Yeah,
I think that is also important and I think it's really great that they are using him for her faces, which is the funniest mispronunciation of a Greek god I've ever had, by the way.
mine or yours.
Mine.
Oh,
Mine.
but Timothy was in Psych for 120 episodes. I know he talked more about it on his own Twitter account, where he had a stroke a few years ago, and he was like very like he thought it was done. He thought like his Hollywood career is over, and now he's gets to come back. I just really like him. I think he's
Great.
seems like just a nice person
He was also
altogether.
in This Is Us.
Yep,
Or
as Gregory. 7 episodes. I have their IMDb up. But very excited. Who else do I want to go to? Who am I going
Poseidon?
to here? Oh yeah, let's do Poseidon first. Uh, where is he?
I
Where
don't
is
know.
he? Crap.
We lost him.
We're doing great.
He's gone.
Okay, Toby Stevens is Poseidon. I don't really know him from
I
anything.
don't either.
So Die Another Day. His known for is Die Another Day from 2002, Hunter Killer from 2018, The Machine from 2013, and 13 Hours from 2016. I mean, sure, he looks like Percy, so
Yeah,
why
it
not?
happened.
Um, let's go next to Hades. So Jay Duplass will be Hades. I don't like. It's so interesting because it's like it almost seemed to I think the world when they released the photos of Hades and Festus who were playing who. People were like, well, why aren't like it? People were like, did you get them swapped? Where it all seemed like Timothy would have been a great Hephaestus and Jay would have been a good,
Well,
or Timothy would have been a good Hades and Jay would have been a good Hephaestus. Where people are like, Timothy's just nice, and but then Rick talks about how the actor for Hades delivers the lines so well and creepily. So we'll see. I don't know. Again, I don't really know some of these actors from anywhere. So
yeah, I will just say that I think Hades might be one of my is at least top 3 favorite Greek gods for me,
mm.
and
so
so I'm add it to the count.
so I think this to me though is the best casting out of all the gods. And it is Adam Copeland as Ares, um, which is very cool, and I think it makes the most sense where we literally have a WWE star playing Ares, which is literally how he's explained. For people that I don't watch WWE, your brother does, I believe,
My
doesn't
brother. If
he?
you want a good Twitter account follow, find my brother on Twitter. Yeah, podcast.
And so Adam Copeland was Edge in WWE, and now he's making his way into the acting one. And oh my god, he's perfect. Like he literally like straight out of what you need. I'm very excited for this. Just great, just awesome. And to speak for Megan, I agree.
I agree. I'm excited.
Now here is, and this is the last thing. I can talk about Medusa quickly in that, but here's my I'm scared casting,
I disagree with you.
and it is Lin Manuel Miranda as Hermes. I don't know. I love Lin Manuel Miranda. I'm going to start off with that. I thought it would have been a funnier to have him as Apollo, but I think that would have been too on the nose. I don't know. I get nervous when this sort of thing happens, but
I disagree with you.
I know you do.
I'm
For
gonna use
once, finally.
yeah, we're no longer the same person. I think one, if he was casted as Apollo, the social media loves to hate on him Lynn right now. Can you imagine if they casted him as Apollo? That would be a
Would
absolute.
have been hilarious.
They would people would have been so mad. I think he's perfect for Hermes. I think it's great. And I think I'm not nervous because I know he has the acting chops for it, right? I think I haven't watched the show yet, but like he has been in a book adaptation
Guess his Dark Materials.
as Lee
No,
Scoresby
Golden Compass. No,
in
his Dark Materials. Yeah.
his Dark Materials, a TV show. I mean that's the first book, but like he's like and like I've heard amazing things about him in that. And like that is like he plays a Texan. I don't know. Apparently he changed it up a little bit, but like he has the acting chops. He has the ability. Like I'm not nervous. I think it's going to be good. I trust Rick with all of his casting choices, and I think it's good to get Lynn in it because I think Lynn is somebody who also will draw people to it.
Absolutely.
And I think it's just a perfect get, especially for Hermes, because I'm excited to see him play the like messenger god, but also like he's an important character because of Luke and all of that, and I think that's just going to be exciting to see kind of how he plays that.
I will. All my joke is, and I know it's a common joke, is it's like if Lin Manuel Miranda was your dad too, I understand going to what's his name, Kronos' side. And there were a lot of funny jokes about it. And I think, and before
So
before you defend him, I think a lot of times now the Lin-Manuel Miranda jokes on Twitter, they went from being annoyed at first to now it's more just a meme. It went from being like people actually ragging on him to now it's just kind of a joke, where like it just kind of like it's like because he posts. Let's be honest, there are some funny photos that people use for meme reactions to Lin. I think, and my only real complaint with it is like with all these other ones, every single one I've been able to be like, yes, I see it, and I think I just can't see it with Lin. But I think he's trying to get away from only being music, where this is another role that lets him not sing, which I think he wants at times. So
I don't know. I'm not nervous. I think it's great. I think
I'm
it's
not nervous. It's just the first time I don't actually see it.
well, and I think again that's where my benefit of not being able to see things in my head, which caused many of sadness during times,
Mm.
really comes in handy. Because to me, I'm like, yeah, that feels right. He has the energy. It's all about energy for me, not about the like actual being like, ooh, can I see
Ooh.
this? Like that's not it for me.
Last two ones. Jessica Parker Kennedy will be playing Medusa in Percy Jackson. She was also Nora West Allen in The Flash. She was in Black Sails, which makes me wonder why she got the role. I'm just kidding. I think she's a good choice. I mean, Medusa obviously then be really dolled up in CGI for this, and then Suzanne Cryer will be Echidna, and she'll have a pet Sunny for it. But that is all things Percy Jackson. I think we're set up for success, which is just very exciting. I think it's gonna be radio silence for until 2024 a lot. I think we'll probably get our first trailer. My guess is in the summer at some time, or maybe D23. Very exciting altogether. But any last comments?
I am excited.
I am
I think
excited as well.
I am excited. I think, as was stated before, for both of us, this is kind of a super important uh, series to us. And I'm excited. I'm excited that one of the ways Rick got this show to happen is by being like, "I'll write you another book," and so we're getting another Percy Jackson, the Olympian, kind of like literally just let's go on a fun adventure with them.
What's honestly so funny is, and it works because Rick's publisher is Disney Hyperion,
Yeah,
which is just so funny. I know they're not truly connected, but it
they
was
are.
probably easier to get in the door.
Yeah, absolutely. So I
No,
it's
I
just
agree. It's just funny. Like, but yeah. So we'll see. We'll probably comment on when the trailer comes out. But that is it, Megan. Can you do social media?
I can. You can find us on Twitter at
Mm.
stream the mouse, stream with the mouse,
Stream the mouse.
stream the mouse on Twitter, and find us on Instagram at streaming with the mouse. You can find me at Twitter at Megan2298, and you can find me on Instagram at _Megan_Brown96. I am private, but if you request to follow me, and I'll probably follow you back or allow you to follow me. Where can they find you?
Find me at CP Robinson 81. I am not private, so I'm not. I don't gatekeep my social media. But
I work with students.
for Megan Brown, what if one of your students watches this and requests to follow? Exactly. You contradict.
No, but I don't want them to find me so easily. Like if they go out
There
of
you
their way to follow me, like I'll allow them. There's nothing there that they can't see. But like, why would I willingly put myself at the mercy of my college students?
There you go. So for Megan Brown, my name is Clifton Paul Robbins signing off. Have a good day, everyone. We'll see you next week for The Mandalorian. Prepare for season 3. Bye, guys.